lads, give your heart and soul. Run lads, shoot lads, give us all a go. Run lads, shoot lads, you can do it yet. Come on Newport County, oh, bang it in the net.
Hello everybody, welcome to Taff's Word. Yes, I know, I haven't done one in ages, and to be honest with you, every time I think of doing one, something gets in the way. So that's my apologies on that, and I will be making an effort next season to get more content out there. But as you'll see, the content is still coming out. We're still doing vidcasts, and we've got new creators on board, so I want to thank them. Because the energy that they bring into the Amber Army socials and to the YouTube and TikTok channels is absolutely superb. So keep it up, boys and ladies, of course. Right, so first things first, we are looking for sponsors for this channel. So what we have is, we have 4 different creators, and ideally we'll have a different sponsor for them all, or one big sponsor for everything. So if you want to sponsor Taff's Word, that'll be a individual cost. If you want to sponsor Ollie's content, Kieran's content, or Jamie's content, they'll all come at individual costs. Or if somebody wants to make an offer to sponsor everything, so the entire channel, so more or less every video, every bit of opinionated content, you know, that's created by an individual creator, that is, because when it comes to create reactions, they get uploaded as they are, because there's far too much work to upload them individually and re-edit them with sponsorship. But for the right price, we could even throw it in on that. But yeah, we are looking for sponsors, so if any interest in that, or anybody knows of anybody that might be interested in that, feel free to contact us on our email address. It should be in the details of our channel. Well, it's Caintychoir at 1912. No, Caintychoir 1912 at gmail.com. That was the correct one. Anyway, I want to clear one thing up first and foremost. There's obviously a rather heated thread on the weareexiles.net message board regarding something taken out of a recent vidcast, and that was a comment that I dropped that an ex-player told me that a director told him that he wanted the players to consider getting second jobs so the club could pay them less. Now, I took that at face value from the person who I believe wouldn't have had any reason to lie to me, because, you know, he is somebody who appreciates the club a lot. But at the same time, it's a player who's left, who didn't want to leave, and we don't know if it's something coming off the back of any kind of sour grapes, although that's just me covering the bases. Me personally, I would say that this person would not do anything like that. So this player mentioned to me that, yeah, that was suggested to him by a director. I'm not naming anybody because we don't know the validity or what the context was. I just thought, because we were talking about players sidestepping away from the club, one player in particular didn't even have a contract when he decided that he'd left the club. Was there something of a desperation to get away? That, for me, dropping that comment in, which I probably wouldn't have done, because I know, yeah, you know, that kind of thing, that kind of allegation can be quite potentially damaging to the reputation of the club currently. Yes, I put that forward as a potential reason, if there was any truth in it, for players moving on. That could have stayed, although we did get 3 players stay with us. Obviously, James Clark, Scott Bennett and Nick Townsend all stayed with us. That there could throw the other side of the argument. Well, 3 players did stay, and the 4 players that left are all very good players, capable of playing at a higher level. Unfortunately, none of them left to join anybody at a higher level. As far as I'm concerned, Mickey Dimitriou is still in the wilderness. We're still in limbo with him. As much as the club have announced, in a way, well, the club haven't announced, but the manager has announced that Mickey has left the club. I think even that there could be taken a bit out of context with the fact that he is now out of contract and he is not currently a Newport County player. Although my feeling is that if an offer was still opened to Mickey and he wanted to take it, the club's door is still open. I'd like to think it is anyway. As much as I believe Mickey Dimitriou will be a massive loss, we are going through times of changes now. The club from the top to the bottom, it looks as though we're going through times of changes from on the pitch and off the pitch. There are 4 interested parties. They're talking to our directors, or well, through Colin Everett, of course, about the possibility of investment into the football club. This is very welcoming news for me, considering beforehand I felt that things were being managed in a much more efficient way. That's what I've always been led to believe, at least anyway. Unfortunately, I was, like a lot of people, sent down the garden path and, into, unknown areas, so to say. Basically, what I thought was the right climate at the club was very much the wrong climate at the club, and that things are not too rosy there right now, financially. I've just waffled a bit onto that. It's because it's a difficult thing to have to admit that something that I believed in isn't quite going the way it should be going, or the way that I was led to believe it was going. I hope that all of the people there at the club currently fully understand that I appreciate the work they've put in. I wouldn't have made sure that Sean Johnson got the accolade that he deserved in the last meeting if I didn't appreciate the job that he and the others have been doing. What's nice now is the trust membership is increasing. The player fund is growing, and the player fund is a great initiative to show that we care about the football club. And we all do. We're all supporters of this football club. You could be hard pressed finding many supporter groups out there that are more passionate about this football club than what we are as Newport County fans. There's a lot of infighting, a lot of name calling, and people, from the negative side. I mean, I've bashed the negative a lot, but I'd never openly insult them, like some people have. I know plenty of people from the positive side who are overly positive, who should open their eyes a little bit, but I'd never openly insult them either. At the end of the day, we've all got a common love for Newport County, which we should all respect each other for. So on from that now, the future of the football club is the thing now. I mean, on the field, Graham is building with what he's got. He hasn't complained about what he's got to work with at all, which is great. He's getting on with it. Hopefully this player fund will provide more. The increase in trust membership will give more budget for him to work with as well. I mean, towards the end of the transfer window, there may be, look, trust membership has doubled. All of this can go into your budget. I mean, what was it, 100,000 before? If it's another 100,000, I mean, I've committed £20 a month. The player fund, I've increased my trust membership from £10 a month to £20 a month. I already have 2 lottery numbers. So I'm doing my bit, and I will be getting my season ticket soon. That's another thing, season tickets. Those who've got money for season tickets, if you can buy a season ticket, for those of you who would look to go to 20 games a season and think, well, because I'm going to be missing a few, there's no point in getting a season ticket. I think a season ticket saves you about 8 games. So if you feel as though you're going to make... Oh, bloody hell, I can't even do my own bloody maths now. If you feel you're going to make 15 games of the 23, it's worth getting a season ticket. If you feel you're going to make any more than 15, even less than 15, just in case, or you can let somebody else use it, something like that, Season ticket sales at this point will help. I'm just thinking of everything. I've invited loads of people to the Newport County Fans Chat group on Facebook, so they can see the momentum being driven by both the trust membership increase and the player fund. Just the more visibility that those conversations get, the better off it's going to do. Thankfully, the Argus have picked up on both and have pushed both for us as well, which is great. A big part of what I'm doing here is going to be pushing that. I just feel now the time is right to start helping the trust that bit more until such a time as we are put in the hands of someone who can financially help us more. But it's up to us. We always like to play the we're the owners card. Yeah. Oh, we're the owners. We should know more. Well, we're the owners, so we should be the benefactors of the football club as well. So we need to make more of an effort to get more money into the club. I feel like I've done my bit. I was doing something before. I'm doing more now. I'd like to feel that there's plenty of people out there that feel they're doing the same, whether they've increased the amount they offer the trust or whether they've joined the trust. And I've seen a lot of people have done either. And there's lots of money going into this player fund now, and hopefully there'll be enough by the end of the transfer window for Graham to go out and get another. Or what it will be is a great little war chest that we would have built up in time for January, because if the shit does hit the fan on the field, there's a bit of money for some corrective action to be made. So, the people responsible for putting this players fund together, I know Rob and I know Andrew Perry, Martin Perry. I know there's another few names. Sorry if I've missed them out, but hopefully you guys get the recognition you deserve. But for me, the fact, and I mentioned this during the second meeting, there was a bit more openness in the first one. During the second one, I felt the floor was open to questions from everybody when we got used to these FAQs. Now, for me, the FAQs were a big FU. You're not asking any questions because we're providing you with answers here. As much as people may have asked questions along the lines of what were in the FAQs, they were told to refer to them. Oh, yeah, that's mentioned in the FAQ. So it was a cop-out with regards to taking questions from fans. And I believe that was, no, I'm not interested in any questions you've got. Here's answers for anything you've got to ask us anyway. That for me, that action alone created a divide between the supporters and the directors. When all of us were meant to be in it together, there was a divide created. The fact that no FAQs were presented for either one of those meetings made it feel like we were in it together again. It's amazing how one action can have that much of an impact. And I mentioned that on the night of the second meeting, that I feel like we're in it together again now. And because of that, you may get a lot more support. Now, we all know that trust ownership isn't going to be viable for us in the long run. But for now, it's what we've got. And when we decided upon taking it on in the first place, it was at a point where the club needed it. They needed to be run by people who gave a shit about the football club. And thankfully, we all do. And the people initially, I know in some cases, it became about them and not the football club. There was word of dictatorships and things like that, and certain individuals running the show. It's not that anymore. We got this guy in from Swansea who was going to help us and help fill some gaps. So the club will be in a better position for any potential investors at some point. Now, I know I said I was going to do a quick one here, but yeah, nearly 30 minutes in. But there's a lot to talk about. There's so much going on at the moment. We're in the pre-season. There's a lot of talk of people thinking that we could be doomed for relegation this season because we can't afford the right players. But, Morecambe and Accrington are two examples of clubs that can get promoted on low budgets. We got a lower budget. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to go down. We are in a place where the football club is going to be running the right way now. Not serving any individuals, but actually run properly with the right democracy, within the football club, with a view to us moving on to new ownership or a new ownership model at some point. I think the future could be pretty exciting. Going down would ruin it all right now because the conference is such a tough league to get out of. But with a manager like Graham Coughlin, you'd be hard pressed to get me to ever believe that with him as our manager, we would be likely to get relegated. I think there's still plenty of great players at the football club. There's enough there as it is to win enough games to stay up. We've still got 4 players that we can bring in on loan. We bring the right 4 in, then we'll be quids in. And it could be the difference between whether we'll be in the top end or the bottom end. I'd imagine there's still budget available for us to bring in a few extra players. I'd imagine if Mickey Dimitriou doesn't sign, he would have been one of our highest earners, as would some of the others who left. Cameron Norman would have certainly been a high earner. The other two, I'm not 100% sure what they would have been earning, but them not being here anymore frees up the wages to bring more people in. You know, there's still a long time to go, and there's still a lot being done right now financially at the football club, you know. So what I would urge is for anybody who isn't trust members now to join the trust. Anybody who can afford to put into the player fund, put into it. I mean, I'm going to try and dig out all the information you need and put it in the description of this video. So for those of you who want to do more for the football club, even those who got plenty of money in the background, who have an admiration for us, who feel they could afford, you know, to give us £10 a month because they wouldn't miss it at all, you know, that would be appreciated too. You know, that'd be even more appreciated because you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, you know, because you want to see, you know, a fans run passionately supported football club do well. I mean, as much as I dislike Wrexham, what Rob Reynolds and Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhaney are doing for Wales as a country is superb. I don't like that Wrexham are at the centre of it because I can't stand the football club. But you have to have some admiration for what they're doing. What we would like as Newport County fans is not to have the attention that Wrexham have got, but at least for someone to come in and think, well, actually, I admire you because, like Wrexham, you're a passionately supported, hard-working football club that's rose from the ashes. Wrexham never rose from the ashes. They just fell out the Football League and couldn't get back without the injection of finance. With us, we rose from the ashes and found our way back to the Football League through hard work and determination. As simple as that. I mean, if that's not admirable, I don't know what is. So, you know, I could bang on all bloody day about it, but I'm going to cut this video now at 16.5 minutes. So those who watched it all the way through, thank you very much. You know, I really do appreciate it because this makes money. Just you watching this makes us a very little bit, but it adds up. So if I get a few hundred people watch this and you all watch other videos on this channel, it raises funds for the Amber Army, for the Amber Army group. And that then either directly or indirectly funds the football club, whether we're doing something to help the football club indirectly or whether we're buying sponsorship, whatever, you know, it all helps. So thank you for your support and hope to see you more often on here. Any suggestions of anything else you'd like me to cover? If I got the suggestions, I'll have the motivation to do the video, you know, and I'll make the time. Otherwise, I allow other things to just take up my schedule too much. So yeah, feel free, drop anything into the comments that you'd like to see from me for the future, and I'll get to it for you. That much I promise. Sponsor the channel. It helps us to fund the football club as well. So there we go. Thanks for watching. Cheerio for now, as always. Up the county.